Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now I do all things crafty, but on today's video, I'm going to do a second shirt using this sublimation hack and DTF powder and film. Now the very first time I did this, I actually made a video where I made this shirt. And I honestly was so excited with how it turned out. It turned out better than I really imagined it would. On this shirt, I use DTF powder by Sublimation, and I use DTF film also by Sublimation. And that's how you spell it right there. Plus, I'm going to link to these products in the video description. Now on today's video, I'm going to take this old white shirt, and it's a little dingy. It's just an old shirt. And I'm going to try a couple of new products that they sent me more recently. So this is also Sublimation, but this one is a glitter film. And you can kind of see right there what the effect is supposed to look like. And then they also sent me some fine powder. So the first powder I used was just their basic powder. This one is more fine, so smaller particles. Now, if you're curious about all the steps and the tips and the strategies, check out my first video. Like the products, I'll put a link to that in the video description because I went step by step by step and I told you some problems I had and how I solved those. But in essence, I'm going to take a piece of this glitter film. I'm going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to tape this film to this basic piece of printer paper with 3 small pieces of Scotch tape up top, 1 small piece here, 1 small piece here, and run it through my sublimation printer. So if you're interested in seeing how this project turns out, then keep watching the video. So I'm printing on the glitter side or the slightly rough side of the film, which, as I said, I taped to a piece of printer paper. And when I print from this Epson using the paper drawer, the paper goes print side down. Now I'm going to just speed through the printing process because using my settings of longer drying time and higher quality, this took a few minutes to print. Hopefully adding more drying time doesn't cause the ink to be too dry to allow the DTF powder to stick to it. Just look at that. There are no roller marks this time. The print looks a little dull, but that's normal for sublimation ink until you activate it under high heat. All right, now it's time to add the DTF powder, and this is some powder that a company named Sublimation sent to me. It's the same brand as from my prior DTF and sublimation video, but they sent a second bag to me, and this is a fine powder. The other was regular powder. They said the fine powder needs to be sealed when you store it so that no moisture gets in it because it clumps more easily. Now I'm going to go ahead and generously cover this end of the design with powder. And then lift it and shake the paper so that the powder goes over the entire design. Then when I'm done, I want to tap the excess powder off. I have paper under the powder so I can collect the excess and put it back into the bag because I can use it again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tap that one more time, and then it's time to go ahead and cure our powder. I'm going to cure or melt the powder by setting it under the top platen of my heat press, and this is set to 385 degrees. I'll protect the heat press mat with some butcher paper, and then I'm going to check this after 45 seconds. My prior one took me over a minute, but with this fine powder, I don't think it's going to take as long. Now, I'm not going to lower the press. I'm just using it to melt the powder. Okay, it's been right at about 45 seconds, so let's see how this looks. And that looks great. Look at how vibrant the colors are now that the ink's been activated and the powder's been melted. I think this print's ready. Now here's what it looks like after that adhesive powder has melted. So it's just kind of an orange peel effect. It looks good, it feels good, but I need to take the paper off the back. So I'm just going to cut around my design because you can also see there's a little bit of something up here. So I'm just going to cut kind of close around my design similar to what you do when you use sublimation. Or I guess I should say similar to what you do when you're using traditional sublimation, because this is sublimation. So this is the side that'll go down on the shirt. We'll press it, and then I'll peel this back. Now it looks like there's something still up there. It is on the back side, so that's not going to press on the shirt. Other than that, I think this looks really good. I don't think there's any stray ink that has adhesive powder on it that I need to scratch off like I had to do last time. Now I'm just holding my phone and recording this one-handed, so I apologize if the video quality is pretty bad, but I'm going to go ahead and press this at 325 for 15 seconds. I went ahead and pre-pressed the shirt to get the moisture out, and so now I'm ready to see how this works. Now let's take it back over to the table, and as you can tell, I'm having some problems getting it off this press. Now per the instructions, I heated this at 325 for 15 seconds under very firm pressure. Then it says peel after 15 seconds. So I would say it's been about 15 seconds. So let's see if this comes off nice and easy. All right, you have to tug on it some. This is harder to get off than the non-glitter. Now notice right there, I wonder if I didn't have pressure right there. That's my guess, but I don't know. I'll have to see when I go back and watch the video. But here is the shirt. I'm going to go ahead and put this back under the press. I'm going to put parchment paper on top. Then I'm going to give you a really good and close look at it. Now, pressing it a second time is something that I learned by watching DTF videos. So videos with real DTF. And actually, I just pressed that with butcher paper instead of parchment paper. It came out okay, but I think it might have lifted up a tiny bit. Let me look. Yeah, I can see where it lifted up just a little bit. So if you're going to do that second press, make sure you're using parchment paper and not butcher paper like I did. All right, I swung a light around. Hopefully that shows a little bit better. But here is the final press. And I really like the way this feels after pressing it that second time. It just smooths right into the shirt, right into the fabric. You can barely feel it's on there. Now, even though this is glitter paper, I can see very, very faint pieces of glitter. It's more of just kind of a, I don't know, a little bit of a shiny or a sheen on it. It's okay, but I'll be honest, I like the non-glitter paper better. So if I buy some in the future, I'm going to stick with it. But I really do like this fine powder. It feels so smooth. Now the regular powder feels smooth also, but when I melted this, it did seem like maybe this went on just a little bit more even. So the next combination I'm going to try is the fine powder, regular non-glitter DTF film. So I hope this has been enjoyable or you learned something. If so, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that and then click the bell and select all notifications. That way YouTube lets you know anytime I upload new content. Thanks again for joining me, and until my next video, bye-bye.